Welcome back from that short break, and of course, after that game, Tottenham against Arsenal, of course, at the Wembley Stadium, we'll be having big games following that up with Bournemouth hosting Manchester City. Bournemouth have not had the best of February team.
No, it has not been the best of February, and it's compounded by their travels. They've lost 8 games in a row when they travel, losing the most recent against Arsenal 5-1. That was so poor. But Man City also has not been at the best of the forms. They've won all their February games, but the last game was a poor showing. I thought even the penalty they got to win 1-0 was so soft there. So it's a game where you look at Bournemouth and their form at home. They love welcoming the big boys. So it's a game I think they can give it a shot, but Man City might be too big for them.
Big one for this, for Eddie Howe in this one. Bournemouth are currently in 12th place, don't forget, and Manchester City are in 2nd place, only 1 point behind Liverpool on 68 points. There's no discussion for Pep. This is a game he has to go in and win. Of course, like we said, he has won all 4 games that he's played in Feb, including beating Chelsea and Arsenal with big margins. So this is a game that I don't think they'll be able to slip up, especially with that scare in midweek against West Ham, where they struggled a little bit to get going forward. But for Bournemouth in February, they only had a draw, and the rest have been losses. So this is a game that I think that trend might continue, and I've given City 3-1.
I think City will win this 2-1 because I still believe when Fernandinho is not in this City side, they struggle. Leave alone the attackers they have, they struggle a bit, but they should win this 2-1.
Big one there for Pep. They can't afford, like we said, to slip up against the Liverpool side that's been marching forward. Of course, they're only a point separates these two sides. Big news there. And in that same time, we'll be having another team that's chasing relentlessly. Manchester United in 5th place on 55 points will be taking on Southampton, a team that just escaped relegation in midweek with that big win against fellow strugglers Fulham. They got a 2-0 win there. But this is a game that they might not be able to get anything out of, team. Yeah,
it's a game I don't think Southampton has a chance because, Tony, when you look at Man United after getting the injuries against Liverpool, we were all scared that these are too many injuries to play this size, especially going away to Crystal Palace. But having a game management plan and winning that 3-1, I think that gives them confidence that the players they have are able to get results. So I believe with that confidence they're able to come and play this fixture. And I worry for Southampton. Good enough they got a win over Fulham, and they should be able to give them some comfort.
Of course, it's very positive to note that they've lost only twice since the turn of the year. So it shows you how well the coach has done for this Southampton side for him to be able to get out of relegation right now. But they're coming against the Manchester United side with Romelu Lukaku getting back in the goals. He's talking about him playing anywhere that the coach would like him to play. So it shows you a player that's enjoying the time under the new manager there without any complaints. And of course, Manchester United, with their form that they have, I think they'll be able to have a big win in this one. I've gone for 4-1.
I've gone for 3-0. I think De Gea will get another clean sheet.
Big one there for Manchester United fans. They've been struggling for clean sheets all season, and team thinks they'll be getting one tomorrow evening. Big game there. And of course, on Sunday afternoon, we'll be seeing more of the big teams with Craven Cottage hosting Chelsea, a team that has had mixed fortunes, especially losing the Carabao Cup, and then in the midweek beating Tottenham Hotspur for basically 2-0. But for Fulham, they lost in the midweek. And now the coach has departed, Claudio Ranieri.
Claudio Ranieri is out of this job. I thought they were struggling. Having made even that signing of Ranieri, they did not kick on from there. But bringing in Scott Parker, their former player, maybe he has new ideas for this team.
Club favorite.
But I still think Fulham is a doomed side. I think Fulham and Huddersfield are going down here. But Chelsea just said that they've had mixed fortunes. The win against Tottenham was unseen, and I thought that that gives Sarri some time in Chelsea now, and if he can build onto that, which I think he can with a win over Fulham, he should be able to stay in his job and maybe bring back his tactics. The only news we want to watch is he going to bring back Kepa in this team or maintain the veteran keeper?
It will be very interesting, of course, to see how he lines his team up. He has already talked about Kepa having served his punishment. The club have fined him a 1 week's wage and also he was dropped in the midweek game against Tottenham,
Yep.
in which Caballero did really well. I think there was a lot of pressure on his goal, so it will be very, very interesting. Higuain is a player that's desperate to get his goal for Chelsea, especially that Morata got one for Atletico Madrid, so he'll be raring to go in this particular one against the poorest defense. They've conceded 20 goals in the 8 games that Ranieri has managed in 2019 for him to get sacked. So it will be very interesting to watch Chelsea going forward in this particular game. I fancy a goal for Higuain, and I think Chelsea will win 3-1.
I think Fulham will get a goal here, but Chelsea should win 2-1 in this.
Big game there, of course, on the weekend, Sunday afternoon. After that, we'll be having a big Merseyside derby. One game that's always heating up even before it's a big game in England, in English terms. So it's a must watch for anyone that loves football. Everton will be hosting Liverpool at Goodison Park. Everton haven't had the best of fortunes, but they got a win in midweek, and the coach is trying to tell them this might be a start of something new. We must keep pushing forward, but they are hosting a Liverpool side that is chasing their first Premier League trophy ever. Yeah,
Tony, Liverpool is chasing for that trophy, but when I look at this derby, it's one of the poorest or the worst derbies I've watched in my career.
One-sided.
It's one-sided because when you look at it, the statistics say Liverpool has had the highest number of away wins at Goodison. That means there's no resistance from Everton. But maybe this time, knowing that if they got something out of Liverpool, then they'll be hindering their chances to the title. So there's an incentive for Everton. But it's a game that Liverpool really are strong enough to win.
Very interesting, of course. Everton have not got a win in the last 18 games, so it shows you how poor they've been against Liverpool side. But they've got some draws in there, so it will be very interesting. If they can draw with Liverpool and Manchester City wins, it will change the whole dynamic of the Premier League.
It will change it, and also we remember that Everton considered the late painful goal against Liverpool, if you remember that. So it will be playing in their heads, and they will be seeking for some revenge in it. And what a way to get a result against Liverpool for them.
No, this is a game that they certainly need to look at and try and push forward. Of course, Sigurdsson has been returning a little bit to his best for Liverpool. They've been struggling a little bit going forward, but in the midweek, they showed how good they can be. Of course, with Sadio Mane, who has been a revelation, with Salah struggling, it's been very, very interesting to watch. Sadio Mane has 14 goals in the Premier League. Big return for him. I think his best ever.
Yeah, this must be his best ever return, and it's good that he's getting into the goals because Salah is no longer in the goals and Mane has stepped up to the plate, and I think it's helping Liverpool. The only worry is Firmino has to undergo a late fitness test, and we know without Firmino, sometimes when teams are a bit defensive, it's a bit hard for Liverpool to get a win.
Midweek, they didn't struggle like that. They got 5 goals.
Tony, they got 5 goals, but Watford is an offensive side. They don't sit back to defend. I believe Silva will tell his boys, this is a Liverpool side, let's take caution.
Big game, that one you can't afford to miss. I've still gone for 3-1 win for Liverpool in this. I think they must keep winning against these sides that are below them in the table. Everton are in 9th place, of course, 36 points. Liverpool first place, 69 points. They certainly need to keep the pace. They need to get to that 72 points mark before this weekend ends. If anything than a win, Man City might be taking the driving seat.
Of course, Liverpool has to maintain the driving seat, and I think they'll win this 2-1.
Big result there, of course. We'll be looking elsewhere in Europe. Big games across the board. In La Liga, we'll be having another big El Clasico. We just had one in midweek that Barcelona won at the Bernabeu, 3-0. Another game just 3 days later at the Bernabeu. Barcelona are traveling away to Real Madrid.
Madrid has to win this game. There is no way they have to get beaten twice in a space of 3 days. No, I don't think so. But Barcelona turns on the gear anytime. Having drawn 1-1 at their home in that cup, they just came and smashed off Madrid. And this is a game they can't play to Madrid's game. But if they want to turn on the gear, they have the ability. And I think they're favourite to win this game.
Very interesting. That game comes to you at 10:45 p.m. on Saturday evening. Big game. You can't afford to miss that. Of course, Real Madrid are now in 3rd place with Barcelona in 1st. So they must try and keep closing that gap. We saw Santiago Solari in a very interesting turn of events, running away from the Madrid fans on the street. in Italy
Yeah.
is where we have the first against second.
Yep.
Napoli will be hosting Juventus.
Yeah, it's first against second, but when you look at the gap, the points, about 13 points there, Tony. So there's really no chase there. It's a walk-away trophy for Juventus. But Napoli will be wanting something here. We know Juve has not drawn. They have not lost any game, sorry. And Napoli knows if you pick out a win, then that's something that can hurt Juventus. But they'll also be saying, we want to go the entire season without a loss. So it's one hard one for both teams. But I still think Juve has enough to overcome Napoli.
Big game that, of course, Napoli very, very lying in second, but with big results there. We've looked there. There was a team that was released this week, team of the year in Serie A already, and Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't featuring in that.
No, he's not.
Was a bit curious, but he's certainly got the goals for Juve to try and get into some of these teams. 19 goals that he's had there. Very interesting weekend. Of course, we'll be bringing you the rest of the goals and the predictions on our social media pages. Click the like and follow us as well. Click subscribe on our YouTube channel to never miss any of the videos on the link given to you below. And with that, we have nothing left to say. Goodbye and enjoy the weekend of football.
Goodbye.
And